Cultivating a life of intimacy and vulnerability can be extremely rewarding in a woman's life, in anybody's life. But it can be really hard if you've gone through abuse, trauma, and have PTSD or CPTSD because you're always in survival mode. Therefore, you don't feel safe to be vulnerable. You don't feel safe to be intimate. These are very personal words, personal acts that we have in our lives because we're constantly in relationship with ourselves and with others. So, showing up in a way that makes you feel seen, makes you feel vulnerable, therefore, maybe threatened in a way, can be very, very scary. So it's hard to let other people into your life. But cultivating these things is really about getting to know who you are and allowing others to get to know who you are. And that can be scary, especially if you've been hurt. We don't want to give anybody the power to judge us. We don't want to give anybody the power to hurt us. And when we have that, it makes it really hard for people to connect with us. It makes it hard for us to connect with ourselves and to connect with our higher power. So, some ways that we can cultivate this, to add this into our life and make it feel safe, is to introduce things very slowly. One of the things that I'm doing to cultivate vulnerability, right? The ability to be honest with yourself and with others, even despite triggers, like if something sets you off or something is just scary because it brings up a painful past for us. Looking at those areas and trying to make small changes so that feels natural for you and for your nervous system is what's going to be best for you to be able to grow in this area. For myself, someone who has complex PTSD, has gone through a lot of healing, it's hard for me to show up. I'm here on camera, and even that's really scary for me, right? Don't want to be judged, just want to show up, be seen to help other people. I'm here in front of my husband who's actually recording this. This is the very first time I've allowed anybody to do this because it makes me feel insecure. And that might sound odd saying that it's from my husband, but in my life, showing up in those intimate ways, being vulnerable with other people, has really harmed me. It's really hurt me. And those people that are closest to us can hurt us the most. So, in introspection, it's hard for me to like take classes or to do anything in front of people. It's easier to do it in front of strangers. Yes, there's the chance of being judged, but with your own family, it can be really hard, and it can be really hard with yourself, but that is the best place to start. So I'm celebrating my win by recording in front of my husband and showing those small intimate ways that I'm allowing him to see me, and then that makes our relationship more rich. So, some places that you can start for yourself in being more intimate and more vulnerable with yourself is some mirror work, right? I used to have difficulty showing up and looking at myself in the mirror because I thought I was ugly. When I was a kid, people said I was ugly, and I've carried that. And so, even though I've done a lot of healing and I'm a beautiful person, it still is difficult to be seen, to show up. So look at yourself in the mirror, meet yourself where you're at, and talk softly and gently to yourself. Be really honest about where you're coming from and where you want to go. And that's a really great place to start before you start introducing vulnerability and intimacy with a partner or even with friends and family. So I encourage you to give this a try and really be honest with yourself in ways that you can be vulnerable, super honest with yourself, and small ways that you can incorporate this into your daily self care so that you can have the best relationship with yourself and with others.